Felicia
From the
Michaels,
moment
my
you hear his
princess,
voice, you
has
know
been entertaining
there are
audiences
problems.
with a unique
Joey
style
Coco Diaz has
of
been rocking
provocative humor
comedy
since the
stages for
90s, all right?
15 years.
With her
You've seen him in
tongue-in-cheek,
films and
she's been
television,
exploring
but
such
his
topics
real
as the
patois,
dynamics
as
of
he's
the
fond of saying,
male-female
are the
relationships,
stories from
or
his
as we
past
call them here in
and
the
his
studio,
chaotic
dirty
views on
thoughts,
life that will make
and
this
the
podcast
proliferation
a different
of the
beast.
sensual
Raw
feminist.
pain and
She's a little
passion is how to
firecracker
really
rolled up, and that's why I
describe
love
this
her, and that's why you're going to love
New
listening. So
Jersey
tune in, all right?
animal.
I'm known to break furniture. I've broken more antiques and nice furniture than anybody I know just sitting on it. Just because why? Because I'm a bull in the fucking china shop. I come to terms with that shit. So I don't
know,
mean
but
to be
you
rude
throw
to you.
yourself down on it.
No,
You
it's
just
not
can't. You
no,
gotta lower.
I
you
lower
know,
myself
you can't
down
just
all
be
the
like,
time,
ugh, you
I'm
know.
not a fucking, but I'm just letting you know I'm a bull in this
Right.
china shop.
Can you do an example of sitting?
Not really. I'm sitting already. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Once I'm done, I'm done. I'm going to get up and sit down like a fucking bouquet. You know what I'm talking about? It's a beautiful Tuesday morning in Los Angeles, California. We're back, bitches.
Yes, Beauty and the Beast podcast.
Felicia Michaels.
Joey, a motherfucking Diaz.
What's happening, you sexy animals?
You know what? I've had a busy week of comedy. I hung out with my friend Wendy Brazil a lot, and we went and got drinks, and we went and visited Natalie at Natalie's job. The girl that does our photography, Natalie Gamble, natgamble.com, is a wonderful photographer, but she waits tables at the Fairmont Hotel, so we went there and had a drink.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Harassed her and all that kind of jazz. And then Wendy's like, let's go to this Burning Man party. There's this party where they're trying to raise some money in Venice to build a car for Burning Man, right? And I was like, all right, I'll go. But, you know, I don't know if you've ever been to Burning Man. Like, I went to Burning Man once, and it was fun, but I'm just not going to repeat the experience. But some people love that kind of stuff, but I feel that way about camping in general. But I love people who love to camp, but just one night, and that's it. And so I was kind of dreading the party, like it's going to go all night. I'm going to be stuck with Wendy, because Wendy can hang out at a party, you know. And then we finally make our way over there, and we were too late, you know, because Wendy always thinks a party goes till 4 a.m. And then Wendy's like, yeah, you know, I was like, what kind of art car were they going to make? And she's like, a big penis car. So it was like a charitable event and a party to make the big penis car.
But it ended by what time?
It was over by 11. I was just like,
hang with those fucking
I know. You're going to party for a penis car. You party all night.
I stopped going to parties. I stopped believing in parties 20 fucking years ago just because it was different than an idea I had that a party was. And I would go to a party prepared to throw down, and people were always one step behind, so I stopped going to fucking parties. Last party I went to, I get there, you know, I get to your house, I'm fucking stoned. All right? Let's face it, on the run over, on the walk over, on the drive over, I smoke something. You better have a fucking peanut out or something when I get there. Something to take the fucking pain off. No, you get to people's houses and they're looking at you and you got your little chocolate cake, but you can't count the points. You wanted something else, maybe a piece of cheese, maybe a piece. You know how to entertain. I walk into your house, there's fucking always something. But you know what I'm saying? You go to somebody's house and they got nothing. Oh, we're waiting for the liquor. Then you should have told me to come at 9 when the liquor was fucking here. Why am I sitting here like a fucking mook? I like to go to parties and snort coke and somebody takes their titties out. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might get stabbed by 4. You know, those are the parties I grew up.
Do you still go to those parties?
Fuck no, because they don't invent them no more. They don't have them no more.
Oh, I just think they're going on in a different circle now.
You know, when I left Jersey in '83, I was going to a different type of atmosphere. I had come from a different type of atmosphere, and I ended up moving to Snowmass Village, which is cool and all this, but it was still a fucking cowboy town. And their big night out was a cover band, you know, and they would dance and they would have a few drinks, and I would walk in there and go, no fucking way. Like, this is not fucking happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just... And I would go up there, get my gram of Coke, have a cocktail, and get the fuck out of there.
Right.
I just go up there to do what I have to do. I've never been good at mingling because I can't take drunk people. And that comes from growing up in my mother's bar, that ear beating of constant drunk people. I can't do it unless you're sucking my dick. I will take the ear beating for a good dick sucking if you're drunk or something like that. But at that point, I can't do it. I really can't. And when guys give me an ear beating, and you seen how uncomfortable I was the other night. Once I'm done with what I do, I don't like fucking hanging.
I know you were kind of uncomfortable the other night. I thought you were uncomfortable on the way going to the Improv because we were at some liquor store and I was all like, because Joey's like, you gotta videotape yourself now because we're gonna bring this up a notch, bitch, right? And so I'm on like, Joey, let me take the video camera out, and you're like, not here.
No, that guy was weird in that liquor store, and it was a weird neighborhood, and
Joey, come on.
Yeah, it was just that I could just feel something bad from the guy.
But I felt you were kind of uptight that whole night when we got to the improv. And
once I get to the improv, dog, it's like I like doing comedy, but I don't like everything that goes with it. I told you, I just want to do comedy. If I don't take one ear beating or one story or a movie you're producing or something, I'm fucking fine with that shit. And that, because I've done it for a long time. The other night I sat outside the Ha Ha and listened to two young comics talk. And it was like they spoke for 2 hours about comedy in the way I like to talk about it, but it was going nowhere. Like they were both like stating their case but arguing at the same time. It was kind of weird. And it's like whether it's politics or the Tea Party or shit like that, it's like when you fucking die and go to wherever the fuck you gotta go, you're gonna look down and see how much time you wasted worrying about shit that didn't fucking matter in your life. You really are. That's when it's gonna hit us like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like the other day, I was at Eddie Bravo's house, and I was saying to him, Eddie, can you take Twitter and take a picture and put it right on Twitter from your iPhone? And he was telling me, yes, I'm not good with technology. And my wife is like, you know what? Joey could do it. He's just fucking lazy. He just doesn't want to do it. And I've tried to do Twitter from my phone. But then again, this is my other stand. If I have to use my Twitter when I'm out, I'm not living. If I have to check my Facebook when I'm out at Felicia's house, then I'm not living. Do you know what I'm saying? If I got to tweet you that I'm eating lunch at Marie ST with Felicia, then I'm not really living. So when I'm doing business, I'm doing business. When I'm in front of, you know what I'm saying? I don't want a lot of things to become that easy. And this is why I try to live life. I mean, a lot of people, when I go to do comedy, I'm thinking about my fucking set. I may not be thinking about it, but I'm thinking about my set. You know how it is before you do fucking comedy. That was why the other day when we were talking about the pictures, you said, I know you don't like taking pictures. Before I do comedy, I don't want to do nothing. I want to talk a little bit. I want to get into I want to get my blood going a little bit. Just a tiny bit. I want to get mad at something or aggravated, and then I want to walk away.
Are you serious?
Yes. When I do comedy, the best comedy I could do is when I have a little fury.
You achieved that Friday night.
What's that?
You achieved that Friday
night.
No,
I get. That's what I need.
Because you did exactly
that's
that.
That's what I need. When I do comedy, it's a different. It's like when I've been trying to tape yoga for the people in Mad Flavors world. I really been trying to tape yoga. I've been really trying to take my camera over and get the downward dog and everything. But yesterday I said to myself, why am I coming to yoga if I'm taping this? I'm focusing on a camera instead of what I should be focusing on. So yoga has been scrapped from Mad Flavors world.
Yeah.
Because when I go to yoga, I go to fucking yoga. I don't go to yoga to be cute or to giggle for a camera. I go to yoga to really get the fucking breathing. I gotta focus. So I'm trying to focus on the breathing, and I got to worry about the camera. Is it in the right angle? So yesterday, when I do something, I like to, and it just goes back to, like today I went somewhere this morning, and I wanted to get something to drink. I was at a gas station. I walked in, and they're talking about what's this going to do to the country, the S&B, and all this shit. And then I went somewhere else, and I had to drop off a file, and again, they were talking about Obama, blah, blah. And it's so weird that the shit we worry about at the end of the day, if we focused it, and we talked about this before, but you didn't know about that? I have to get mad before I go on stage. I do that all the time. I do it all the time. I do it all the time.
You know what? Because I noticed that because sometimes
when
you go to Brea, you're very cranky.
Very cranky.
And you always try to slip a fart in there somewhere, and then you get mad that it's,
Very cranky because I'm trying to get I don't have fucking time. I notice these comedians that get cute off stage, and they get on stage and they bomb.
Right.
What was it? You wasted your cute. You just wasted your fucking cute on two comics in the green room. Do you understand me? You just wasted your fucking cuteness.
Maybe that's the story of my life.
No, you just wasted your cuteness. And it goes back to that story when I first came to town. I stood online all day at the Laugh Factory, and there was a guy there, and I didn't know nothing, so I didn't say nothing. I just sat there with Gavin and giggled. And there was a guy there all day that knew everything. Oh, don't go to the Comedy Store because Messina Baker won't see you there. Don't go to the Improv and do a 10. I mean, he knew everything. He fucking knew everything. And when it came 7 o'clock and Jamie put him up, he fucking froze up. And I went up to him after the show and I go, dog, if he didn't talk, it hit me, so I had to let it know. I didn't know him. He was older than me. I thought we were going to throw down. But I went up to him like a man. I go, dog, not for nothing. If you would have talked all fucking day and worried about what was in front of you, you would have fucking killed tonight. And he looked at me, and a month later I seen him selling lighters. And he still sells lighters and silver
really?
rings.
Oh, really?
He's like Hungarian. He lives in his car. He's always trying to open up a comedy club in Orange County. Orange County needs a comedy club. I'll call you, I know. Then he opened up something and people went down there. The windows were blacked out and he had no liquor license. So you waste your time on what's fucking in front of you. That was all, the point I was making.
Well, that was
That's
a
why
very
I get
good
so
point.
fucking pissed off.
I
That's
know.
why that night when you came out to see us in the Ice House.
So what?
That's why that night when you came to see us at the Ice House, and I started that thing with Rogan, he was like, listen to the music, how it comes on the iPhone. He knows me, so he goes along with it. He knows that 20 minutes before showtime, there ain't no fun and games, guy. There's a show to do, motherfucker. And you're the first one. So your energy carries over. You got to go out there and fucking hit them. I don't have time to take pictures or let's do the show. And then afterward, we'll do whatever you want. We'll giggle and we'll jump up and down. But before the show, my mind goes into this fucking wheel of distortion. And I love it. I love being there. I take it to a dark fucking place. And that's how you kill. If that's what you need to go up there and leave your soul on the stage, fucking take it.
Yeah. All right.
If I'm not thinking about killing somebody right before I go on stage,
Really?
I'm not going to do good. Like, if I'm not actually, catch myself going, you know what? After this set, I'm going to bust his fucking head with a glass.
Really?
If that's not how I feel before I go on stage, and then once I go on stage and I'm up there 2 minutes, I start laughing in my head from my behavior 3 minutes earlier. I really do. I'm like, oh my God, I let the motherfucking energy trick me. I let it trick me. It takes me away from what's in front of me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we all have our
We
process,
all have our.
Joey.
So I'm sorry. I don't want you to think that sometime. And then when I get off the stage at the Improv, I gotta get the fuck out of there. If you would have said to me,
It's true.
Bubba,
I know,
let's
it's
go get a
true.
tamale, little
Because
compadre.
I was talking to Gene Pompa, and you
Yeah.
were like, "We gotta go." And
One-
I know.
Wrap that
You did
motherfucker
that.
up. Wrap it up. Let's go.
He totally
Hello?
did that
Goodbye.
behind Gene Pompa's back.
Yeah,
He
let's
totally
do what we
did that,
gotta
and
do.
I was all like, "Blah blah blah, Gene, I gotta
give
go."
you hand. I never broke you down the hand signals. This means let's
you
go.
don't need to explain it, Joey.
Oh no, this
It's
means
plain
let's
simple.
go. This means go to your room. This means wrap it up because we got about a minute left. Real quick. And this means get rid of them.
I know. Yes, I've
That
seen you
means
do that.
let's go. Real quick. Not no drama. No excuse me. There's no. Can I talk to you in the other room? Let's go. Real quick. And then nobody gets their feel. Let's go. Get rid of them because I
Yeah,
can't do.
well, I am a witness to that behavior. I know.
Oh no.
And Gene Pompa and me were in the middle of like a really
Yeah,
deep
good. I know.
conversation.
But yeah, 19 years ago, we showcased for fun. Remember
Hey,
that?
shut
Yeah,
up.
good. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. You gotta.
Hey.
No. I don't want nobody to get confused here or nothing. Don't even get started. You want to leave the Improv, and the thing with me is like, if you wanted to leave the Improv and go to El Compadre, I would have been all in. I told you, I would have designated a driver. It's just sitting there. Once I'm done, I'm done. I want to get out of that time frame. I want to get out of that character. Now I can relax again and be
Right.
fucking Joey Diaz.
Yeah.
Before I go up, I got to be a killer. You know what I'm saying? And while I'm there, I'm going to be a killer because people get the wrong interpretation. So you got to fucking, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, and if you would like to know what Joey's saying specifically, you can email him at beautyandthebeastpodcast@gmail.com. And by the way, I know I get lazy on the emails, Joey, but you know what? The truth is, people want a little love from Joey Diaz.
I always tell you, don't worry about the fucking emails. Don't worry about the emails because we get crazy emails, motherfuckers. And the good thing about the emails is that it makes me think, like, people call up, not people call up, but people send me emails and they go, I live in guilt, I'm 28 years old. And I want to say to them, you know what, Doug, forget about it. Just move on with you. And I do email them back, but it's so funny, like, some things you've done, you have to fucking laugh about. And even if they were embarrassing at the time, whether it's a guy you threw out or something,
Right.
it's always very fucking funny. The other day, my buddy called me and he reminded me of his story about that. Again, I had this, when I first moved to Colorado, I didn't really have a lot of contact with people outside of New York. And there was a guy upstairs, his name was Ken, and he was from Kentucky, so we used to call him Keen-tucky. Ken would always show up at dinner time. Hey man, what are you guys doing? Eating? You mind? Every night, 5 nights a week. And I lived with a guy that was a chef. And at that time, I used to cook a little bit. You know, I knew what I wanted. I'd make like steaks, and I'd get Oscar Mayer salami and cut it up and throw it in a salad with Italian dressing. And we'd make a lot. I used to shoplift a lot from Village Market then. So I used to buy a steak, but shoplift 2 steaks and a lobster tail. You know what I'm saying? I just would go to the counter so they would never suspect me. So we would always have like little treats at night and shit whenever I did. At that time, I wasn't really full first burglarizing yet. I was just getting the landscape of Snowmass Village.
Cock teasing yourself of Snowmass Village, also known as Farmville, the victims.
So this fucking guy would come down every night, eat our food, then get into an argument. But he got into an argument because he was very right wing and very like, you know, Christian and proper.
Oh, really?
So he would eat our food and then argue about like our ways. It was me and my buddy from North Bergen, and we were a little crazy.
And how did you meet him?
He was a neighbor, and we all, you know, in Colorado, people talk, hey man, how you doing, whatever, and you know me, whatever, bye. You know, lesson number 1, lock your neighbors next door, right, whatever, see you soon. Because if not, they start knocking, but you don't know at the time. This is how you learn. So he would come over every night, and every night he'd leave with a fucking argument. One night I finally said to him, dog, you know what, if you don't like our fucking ways of thought here, don't eat our fucking food, get the fuck out. So we kind of like became like little enemies, and he used to ride his bike. And so one Friday night, I'm sitting in my apartment, bored as shit. I just got like my $8 an hour check, and I'm like, who can I rob? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to rob Kentucky. I'm so pissed off at him. I'm just going to rob him. Fuck him. He eats plenty of lobster tails here. So Jimmy wasn't home. My roommate at the time, nobody was home. Kentucky was in Aspen drinking. And I said, fuck this motherfucker. So I go behind my building, and there's a balcony, and I can't reach it. And I had no strength in my shoulders. Really bad, Felicia.
Really?
I've never done a pull-up. Like when I used to take the presidential exams and shit when I was a kid, I've never done a pull-up. And it's embarrassing, but fuck it, it's Beauty and the Beast, right? So I couldn't pull myself up. Felicia, I devised this concoction. And like today, if you said like I put a bar chair on top of a stool, on top of 3 bricks, on top of a notebook with a ladder next to it. And I got on the ladder and then climbed up to this fucking shift fucking pole. And I grabbed onto the balcony and I put my leg over and I went to the kid's house and I looked. And I mean, I searched for hours. And he would always come down. You know, he was a cheap fuck. And he would always come down and say, yeah, I just got a big check from my daddy. I'm going to go put it in the bank and all this shit because I don't trust people in the area. Like, he would always goof on us like that.
Right.
I'm saying, I'm going to show this motherfucker who not to trust. I go upstairs. I gut out this fucking house. I can't find it. I can't fucking find it. I'm pissed. I leave, but I leave the front door open as a message. Just to fuck with their heads. You always leave the front door open. Just because maybe they're confused. I left the front door open. They don't know. I got high. I was on the phone. And I went downstairs, and I'm like, no, that motherfucker's got cash upstairs. So I went to the bathroom, and I looked around the bathroom, and sure enough, I opened up the Band-Aid thing, and there it was, rolled up. And remember in the old days, it was a metal container? It wasn't like now it's paper. In the old days, it was a cool container. When you ended it, you would take it and put marbles in there and shit, you know? He had it rolled up in here like $300, so I fucking clip it. I go down to the Stone Bridge. I got a steak, a la carte. You know what I'm saying? I'm buying drinks for people. I get myself a G-Bo of Coke, and I go back and hide. I do the gram of Coke, and sure enough, the first fucking knock the next morning is Keen-tucky. And I remember I didn't say nothing to Jimmy because Jimmy at this time was out. So by the time he got home, I was in my room paranoid from the Coke. I wasn't coming out. So we went to bed, whatever. Jimmy was in the other room, and I get up the next morning, we're making breakfast, and sure enough, we hear the knock, and it's Keen-tucky. And he's like, man, I got robbed last night.
That's a terrible story, but a funny one.
Oh, no, Jimmy Burkle is fucking dying while he's eating because he knows it's me the whole time. He's just laughing his fucking ass off. And this Kentucky's like, well, I already called the police. And when I was a kid, I took this detective course one time. I swear to God, he's telling us this. We're fucking dying. Really? And he's like, you take Scotch tape and you put some powder on it and you can lift the fingerprints. So I'm gonna lift the fingerprints and take them down to the station and show that to policeman. But if you guys know who did it, let me know, and I won't do that. He knew it was us.
Right.
He knew it was me.
You know he knew it was you.
But it was just so funny that after he left, we died. And I don't know what happened to him. He was like a bike racer or something. But it was just so funny that he's a person I should be really paranoid. Like, I should feel bad for robbing him, but I don't. Because he was such a mooch and such a fucking scumbag in a way. You know what I'm saying? That there's so much about him. I mean, it didn't justify what I did. It never justifies the action I did by robbing him for the $300. But I remember Felicia, he sat there and he kept saying, man, I really, really need that $300. He sat there, Felicia, for at least an hour while we were eating our eggs and shit. I'm already got the day planned out. I'm going up to fucking the town and buying some CDs and shit like that. And after that was when I started going on a tear in Snowmass. And you know what? He always knew.
Yeah.
And he never said nothing to nobody. He always fucking knew. It was me. And then he moved away, and that was it. Life moved on.
Wow.
I'm very sorry about that today. If Kentucky, if you're listening, stay black. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell you.
Or go fuck yourself.
Or go fuck yourself. I don't know what to tell you. The statute of limitations is over in a $300 can of fucking Band-Aids. Go fuck yourself.
Well, you know, that's...
statute of limitations is over, never over on your
yeah.
karma. You know, I tweeted,
That's
I Facebooked something
It's
last
true.
night that was very interesting that I was writing to somebody back, and as I was writing somebody back, I thought about that. You got to check in with your skeletons from time to time, because if not, they'll check in with you. You got to, you got to check in with them, and these are the skeletons we talk about. So this is what I'm talking about. You really, really have to, every once in a while, check in on these things, rub them in the head, tell them it's gonna be okay. Pop is gonna, you know what I'm saying?
No, every once in a while you got to take the skeleton out of the closet, dust it off,
Dust it off, give them a little headache,
it a
talk
little
about it
burp.
on Beauty and the Beast.
put it back in.
You know, it's funny how we both do. We're both sexual people. We're crazy. We talk about a lot of shit. And it's so funny, the line of sexual harassment. Like, the line that is built today is sexual harassment. Like, there is a line in society. It doesn't apply to me and you. We rub our fucking dicks and pussies with it. We don't give a fuck. We live our lives. But it's so weird what really, 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 really is sexual harassment. Like, what most people, and I argued for your sake 2 days ago with somebody, not argued, but we spoke about it. I go, you know, think of, like, as a man, if somebody comes to you and says, your son fucked a teacher, a hot blonde, you know, we had this discussion, you're fucking kind of happy, but it was really bad. Like, as a mom, you would blow your fucking top if one of your boys came home and you said the teacher sucked his dick.
Yeah.
And if you called me, I would look at you and go, Felicia, are you fucking kidding me?
No.
And I wouldn't understand it, and I would be very... And I didn't think about it till this weekend, what line there is for a kid. This whole sex thing has been bothering me lately, as you know. And I thought about it, and I took it even deeper, because I'm like everybody's Uncle Joey. I want to be proud of being somebody's Uncle Joey. I want to open up your eyes, is what I want to do. But I never want to take you down a road that might fuck you up later. But you never know what's going to fuck you up.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You never know.
You never know.
And it's funny, when I was a kid, there was a guy on my block when I had to be 12 or 11. His name was Nelson, and it all started with errands. I would run errands for him. Hey, bro, what are you doing? Go up to the store, give me a pack of cigarettes and a soda. I'll give you $3, you know. And then he invited me to come in. And then one day he smoked pot in front of me. And my mom smoked pot, but I made believe like I didn't know what he was doing. And he explained to me what reefer was, and he rolled joints. And then one day I said, hey, me and my buddies want to try it. Can you get us a bag? And he got us a nickel bag and rolled it for us. And from time to time, we'd buy weed from him. Again, it was safe. It was on the block. We didn't have to go to New York City. And then, you know, we became friends. I would get off from school, and I would go over there, and he'd smoke in front of me or have a drink. He never offered me a drug or a drink, but the thing he did that stood with me was that he would fuck one of his girlfriends and leave the back window open. And he would charge us like $3 to listen to him fucking the chick.
Right.
I told you about this.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's fucking hysterical that this guy was doing like a cinema paradiso in his backyard in 1975, because it had to be. I had to be 12, you know. And it was like mind-boggling that me and my friends would sit under his window, and we had already paid him like $2 a piece, and he would fuck the shit out of this chick that was ugly as fucking sin. This was the one that he let fuck with the window open. Like, she would say to him, why do you have the window open? He said, baby, I need air, or whatever the fuck it was. But they knew. And he would tell me, like, come back there at 10 after 8. She's going to get there like 7:45, but we'll be fucking by 10 after 8. And sure enough, we'd sit down with our little cookies and potato chips, and he'd be like, huh. And then at the end, she'd go, give me milk, baby. And that was how it fucking ended. And we would walk down from there, and our heads would explode, you know? And yeah, it was a joke. And then after that, I caught fucking the guy up the corner, fucking Angel, in a hole in the woods, and we all went up there and watched, you know? But today, I don't know if I'm mad at Nelson. Like, can you believe that? You know me a long fucking time. Like, I would vote for Nelson for mayor for doing that 10 years ago.
Really? What?
But today, I'm kind of like, that was fucking crazy. And he never sexually harassed us.
How old was Nelson?
Nelson had to be 32, but crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy fucking.
And how old was the girl?
28. She had a job. Remember, she worked in the city and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's creepy.
It's
creepy
fucking,
that he would do that with you guys.
It was crazy, but he was not gay. He never did any sexual thing with us. And you know what, Felicia, though? He used to talk to us about sex. Like he would say, someday you're going to meet a girl and you're going to need a condom and, you know, you're going to take them back to your place and make back there clean. And it was weird. So it's pro and con. I'm pro and con on the guy. He used to be a photographer, kind of, sort of.
Okay, so it's a guy that liked cameras and would talk dirty to little boys and let him
No, not little boys. He would never talk little boys to us. We would ask him about girls.
Well, how old were you?
12.
Well, you're still a little boy at 12.
But we had questions that you couldn't answer your mom. You couldn't ask your moms. That's what we were asking him. He wouldn't tell us about, like, go fuck a little boy up the ass. We would say to him, so what happens? Like, what happens? We don't know. And he would go, all right, first you go to a bar and you meet a girl and you date her for a while. And then if she likes you, it's called fucking. And we would sit there like, whoa. And, you know,
I can't agree with you.
Yeah,
I can't agree with you.
I'm pro and con.
Yeah,
I know you can't fucking agree, but I'm saying I'm pro and con on it today.
Because when I lived in Colorado, I remember being 12, and there were these people that had this guy that was their roommate, and the father and this guy would always say really sexual things to me. And they would do it to me and to other kids, and like that's weird.
Yeah, but
that's
that wasn't
weird.
what this guy was doing at all. There was nothing sexual towards us. We were learning about life through him. We didn't really know. He would get his Boone's Farm. He would fucking go over to the basketball court with us and shoot. We would ask him. Sex wasn't the only, and I should have said that. Sex wasn't the only thing he talked to us about. He would play hoops with us. He would do a bunch. The girls even liked him. The girls, like the young girls, would say, Nelson
he would just
is cool.
solely hang around you guys?
No! He had a job at night. He was a photographer. But, like, that's how it started. He lived on the block. And when I'd be walking, he'd go, hey, dog, where you going? You going to the store? Yeah, do me a favor. Here's $20. Get me a bottle of fucking booze and get me some cigarettes and keep $5 for yourself. And then it became like all of us would do it for him. Here, dog, go up there. And he would give us money and shit. He would talk to us. What are you guys doing? Football? Let me see the football. Wow, that's a nice football. I never played football, but I know how to throw. And he would just talk to us. And then as we got older, it got into, hey, dog, why do you pick up girls? Do you know what I'm saying? It was like, so today, the only thing the guy did that I could tell you that was borderline fucked up was when he was fucking the chicks and we were listening under his window. Everything else, the guy was solid. I would fucking approve of the guy in any neighborhood. He was that solid. Yeah, he was solid. He was solid. This guy was a man. This guy could help your kids in other ways that you couldn't. He showed your kids something that you couldn't show them. You could sit there and look around and make faces, but you know what I'm saying? This is the truth, Alicia. There's people sometimes, you can't get to your kids how some people could get to your kids. Some people could really get through to your kids. It could be an aunt. It could be a grandfather. It could be an uncle. Somebody could get through to kids better than you can. And sometimes you go, wow, that's really weird that my kid doesn't want to ask you shit. You think your son's going to come to you when he's 15 and ask you about getting his dick sucked?
No.
Okay, then who the fuck do you think he's going to ask?
Google it just like everybody else.
But he's going to ask somebody. We didn't have fucking Google. So come on, get over it, Felicia. Come on, dog. We're talking here. Don't be fucking smoking me with that fucking Studio City mom shit. We're talking here. You know what I'm saying, dog? Talk to me, baby.
I don't know.
It's true.
I see it differently because look, I had this teacher once when I was in 10th grade, Mrs. Daniels, and she worked at the high school and she was the home ec teacher, and she was very promiscuous with a lot of the football players, and she spoke very openly about sex to a lot of the girls, and you know what? That wasn't right. And you know what? But the thing is, she spoke openly to us girls about it, and the thing is, it's there's just no reason for it.
Did you learn about sex from your mother?
Oh yeah, please. My mother was all like, "This is how you give a blowjob. This is the man's taint." You know what
really?
I mean? Yes,
oh, shit.
yes.
When you had somebody answer
yes, it was like, slow down,
a lot
bitch.
of people don't have.
I just want to go to the drive-in. Slow down.
A lot of people don't have people to answer their questions when they're growing up.
Well, that should be a parent that answers that.
A lot of people don't know how to, a lot of kids don't know how to approach their parents. And that's the problem you have. Right. If you notice the emails lately, we're getting a lot of 19s, 16s, 14s. 3 months ago, I was very fucking upset about it. I'm not upset about it no more because we're really, like one kid said, you're opening up your eyes. You're telling us what to avoid. And even though they're still going to have to live it out and learn their life, and I'm going to applaud them because you got to live your life, at least we tried. Your parents always try to tell you when you grow up things to do, but we're smarter than they are. Who the fuck is my dad to tell me not to go to this bar and hang out? There's bitches there. Look at you. You ended up with mom. We know more than our parents. And then one day we ended up getting a DUI, and we learned our fucking lesson why not to go to that fucking bar. I didn't tell you there was cops around the corner. That's why I told you not to go there, but you didn't want to listen. You were a tough guy. So sometimes it's somebody else that may get through to you. And that's why we're getting emails from young people lately.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
if you don't want to believe it, you don't have to believe it. You don't have to believe it.
I get it, and I just hope that they take away the right things. I think
they are taking away the right things. If not, they wouldn't email us. They wouldn't have no fucking character.
But just always remember, if you're hanging around a guy like that, a guy that's having drugs like that, even if it's just pot.
He smoked pot. I know. And I
know
a lot of people who smoke pot, and they do what they do. You can't be hypocritical.
But I also know I've had friends who went with other guys to parties, and someone got shot and killed because a guy knew a guy who knew a guy.
But that never happened. We were too fucking cool for that. We were too smart for that shit.
But I'm just saying it's
we were too smart. You're just saying, but we were too smart for that.
A guy, broke us into the sexual escapades.
No, but that's not what it was. That's not what it was.
No, I know,
if I would have known you were going to take it, that wouldn't even have brought the story up. That's not even what it is. You're not even listening to the story.
I'm totally listening. You said this guy was your friend in all aspects.
In all aspects. Took us to movie theaters.
Yeah.
Talked to us about shit.
I heard that.
And one day, we just asked him, dog, everybody's talking about marijuana, what the fuck? And he smoked a joint. He talked to us about it. And you know what? I ain't mad at the guy. The only thing I was curious about was that right what he did with the window? That was the big fucking deal. So whether your kid's gonna learn it from them or somewhere else, but I can't be mad at the guy. A guy taking you to a party and getting you shot, and a guy molesting your girlfriend, that's two different fucking things, Felicia. Two different fucking things.
See, it's a different thing if it's you and your buddies, and one of your buddies has a chick, and he's 17 and you're 15 and 16. That's one thing. But when a 32-year-old man, but I get your point. But I'm just saying
that's not what happened, though. So. Part of me is a lot of people. It's not that I'm negative. It's that I see things for what it is. And it goes to how I was raised. When I was 15, the lights got shut off, so I couldn't take a chance with shit. So when I get burnt one time, that's it. That's it. I usually, and I always knew that, where are we fucking going? Where the fuck are we going? Every day more people come in here. Every day we're giving away paper. Every time you go to Best Buy and buy that air conditioner for $0 down and no payments for a year, somebody's paying for that shit. The bubble had to break somewhere,
Right.
What killed me about yesterday was that gold is $1,800. You know how much fucking gold I stole and sold at $600? Do you have any fucking idea what I went through for years selling gold at $750 and fighting motherfuckers for an extra $20 and shit? And now it's $1,800. I go fucking take a cheerleader by her fucking hair and take one of those little high school rings, and I could get $200 for it now. In the old days, you know how many of those things I sold for $3 fucking and how to take it?
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, Joey. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
I went back and bought cans today and got $10.
Oh, wow, you're good at that.
I always save the fucking cans. Why not? You got to recycle. You got to do something.
Did you really
for Mother
do
Earth.
that?
Yeah. I do. I try to do it.
How many bags of cans?
3. It was 2 bags of cans and 1 bag of plastic shit.
Yeah.
But what are they saying at the plastic stuff? Every week is a new fucking adventure, guy. So I can't help you in every fucking way. I can't save the whales. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a fucking scuba mask.
I have been full of evil little thoughts today, Joey. I have been nothing but a crank to my children for the past 2 days. I mean, I didn't beat them or, ridicule them, but I've been pretty cranky. And, I wonder what that's from.
People have times, bro. People, not every day could be sunny. You wake up sunny and shit throws you off. And with me, I tell you, man, I get the most pissed off when I got to drive. And this has been going on for 2 years now, and I've been figuring this shit out. Every time I get on the 101 or I have to go to Hollywood, my blood pressure and I didn't notice it, so I was talking to somebody one day, and they go, "You're in Hollywood, aren't you?" And I go, "How do you know?" And he goes, "Bro, because when you drive in Hollywood, you fucking go nuts." I don't know what it is. Every time I got to get on that 101, yesterday I had to get on the 101 3 times. And all 3 times I got on the 101 yesterday, it was fucking packed to the gills.
Yeah.
And then I got on. You tell you I got on last night at 7:30, and it was bumper to bumper all the way to 4:05.
Yeah.
How the fuck is that?
Yeah.
So it gets me. It just I don't know what it is. It's like I'm wasting. Like I'm already fucking 48, and I'm sitting in this fucking traffic. You know, I don't know. I don't know what my mentality is behind it, but it just I don't know. I can't handle it no more.
Well, the reason I'm cranky is I haven't seen the activity partner for a long time. This is what made me think about it, and I'm going to be quite honest, Joey, and you have to let me say it. But I was thinking, because it's been 2 weeks since we, you know, hung out and had fun, and I know he's working on a big project, and I understand, like, sometimes, you know, he's the kind of guy that gets really focused. There's people out there that are like that it's more about their work than their, you know, people around them sometimes. But do you let a person just do that, you know? Do you tolerate it? And if I'm having an issue, this is what made me think about it yesterday. If I'm having an issue with that, I think about all the women whose husbands are away for, you know, in Afghanistan or Iraq. I was thinking about that. Like, wow, how do they deal with that? How do people deal with long absences, you know?
It's fucking tough. You know, like I told you, I got something offered to me, and it's a month out of town. I don't think I could be without my wife for a month. I don't want to be without my wife for a month. You know, I couldn't even imagine it. I would worry too much, you know. But that's just me. And in your situation, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I've met him various times. He seems very pleasant. I could tell he has nice feelings for you and stuff. But, you know, I'm old school. How busy could you be to pass up on a piece of pussy? I gotta be honest with you. You know me and my mentality. You know,
Right.
I put goggles on and I look straight. You know, like when you see those scenes with CSI where they zero in. I could beat all these walls for you and tell you how bad it is and how good it is. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of this.
Right.
How busy can he be not to refuse
Yeah,
a
but
piece? And not just a
yeah.
piece of pussy. Fucking tremendous, beautiful woman that from every angle you look fucking good. I dress you up and rip your dress off every time I see you just for the fucking fun of it.
Well, that's
That
right.
black dress you had on during the
Yeah.
pictures, in my day, I would have ripped that
Really?
motherfucker off and wrote you a check later.
I know, but realistically,
What do you want to think about this? You know,
Yeah,
I mean, I know you're giving, I know you like him, and I know that there's a lot of things involved, but it's up to you. You're the boss of this
no,
relationship.
I know.
So, you know, everybody's different. I mean, I know there's different situations. I have a friend who her husband works a lot. You know, he's in the business and he works a lot. But between you and I think he works a little bit too much. Now, I've been in both situations. I've been in a situation where I've been with a woman that I haven't been home, and I was in a situation where I was a man that had a child at the house and a woman at the house. And I got to be honest with you, when you have a child, I don't give a fuck who you are. Every minute you want to be home with them, especially when they're new and you're a dad and you're away for 6 hours or something. Especially when you're a dad. I understand your perspective. You got them all fucking day. But I mean, there comes a time when you have a child and things are new and you're raising a family. You want to be home as much as possible. I went to this kid's party one day and the father wasn't there. His employees were there.
Right.
His employees were there. They were all there. Like, where? And the wife is like, "Where's what's his name?" And they're like, "We don't know. We left him at the shop 2 hours ago." It's his daughter's birthday. So every woman at that place was walking around on edge. And afterward, I asked, I didn't know. I didn't feel why. And afterward, I got in my car, and you know me. I asked my wife, because she's the voice of reason. And she's like, think about it. Every woman in that place had their head up because it's your daughter's birthday. Your employees are there. You ain't there. I understand.
Yeah.
How much work do you have? And it was a Sunday. So how much work is involved here?
But some men show love through how they provide. That's how they do it.
Hey, we all do. But when you, in a sense, I know guys that hit it from both angles. I know guys that when their job is done, they can't wait to get home for their fucking kids. And they do drugs and they fucking smashed heads. And I know other guys that talk about how much they love their kids, but if they can stay out till 4, they'll stay out till 4. So do you get what I'm trying to say to you? I know people that get out of their fucking job and they can't wait to get home to be with their wife and kids or whatever the fuck. And I know I'm sounding cliche-ish, but it's a Sunday, 2 hours, your employees are there and you're not there. And you know what? 6 months later, they broke up. So we weren't wrong. Something had to be happening. When a man doesn't want to be home, he doesn't want to be home. When a man wants to be home, sorry, he's home, dog. Sorry, he's home.
Right.
He's home. So I don't get the other. I'm not talking about you and Dave.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. That's boyfriend and girlfriend. That's boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah. This is not a family. I'm talking about a family.
No, and that's the thing. He has a kid, and so I understand. Like, he's swamped, and so that's why I'm like, because here's the thing. You get to a point. I've been married. I've been divorced twice. And you get to a point where you're like, you know what?
First one don't count.
Yeah, the first one does not count, by the way. But that second one really did.
In more ways than one. You know what I'm saying?
I know. But I'm at this point where, like, fuck, I've been with guys that I was all stomping around and trying to make them change and all this kind of stuff. That's what I wanted to talk about. Like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to make someone change. You know what I mean? But the even though there's this part of him that is annoying like that, but on the other hand, I know he's working, and I know that's important, like, and I understand, because you know what, sometimes I'm in Edmonton, Canada for the week, you know what I mean, like, I'm gone quite a bit too, so I don't feel like I can.
But 10 fucking days, Felicia?
What?
2 weeks?
I know, but it's because he has a deadline,
Does he sleep?
I don't think he's been sleeping.
Go over there and fucking sleep with him at least. Now that you don't have the 2 weeks off, go over there and fucking spend the night.
There's people there 24/7.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's like a little factory over there right now for
well,
2 more days. So
you have to decide on this.
He says 2 more days.
You have to decide on this. Yeah. This is your decision here, and maybe after this blows over, you just sit him down and explain your needs and see where you're at. Right. You look good. I know the last time you guys went through this, you're looking fine like a motherfucker, and it's reacting to you. You got a little ass to you for a while there. I almost had to send you to Kmart.
Ass went away.
I even had to go on Amazon.com looking for blue little asses and shit from 1995.
Little asses really are no bueno.
For like a week, every time I seen Terry, she'd go, "Has Felicia gained any fucking weight yet? Do you bring food over there?"
Now I have to put the cookies down.
I try, No, you look good and everything's healthy. The last time you guys had a tiff, it was carrying over into you, and I could tell it wasn't really a tiff. It was just a point of confusion, like what you're going through now. And confusion.
Well, it's just because relationships are hard. I mean,
hey, man.
Be honest, Joey. Aren't there times with your wife? I mean, I'm not starting anything, but you don't have to say specifics where you're just like, what the fuck?
I almost stabbed her on Sunday.
Really?
I almost killed her on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah, that's part of being in a relationship. It's not going to be sunlight every fucking day. It's not going to be sunlight every day. I got up early with her, had breakfast, whatever, we ate cereal, and then I go, you know what, I'm going to lay back down. She had gotten the iPhone and the computer, and I go, you know what, because I got home late Saturday night, like at 2, and I didn't fall asleep till 3 from doing comedy, and I slept till like 7, and I got up with her, we ate something, I said, I'm going to take a nap. She goes, okay. I get up from doing the fucking iPhone at 1, and she's still in the computer room working on this fucking iPhone. And I look around and nothing's been done, nothing's been moved, there's no smell of fucking a sandwich in it. I go, what are you doing? And she goes, I'm trying to do this thing. And I go, tell me that you've been sitting here for 3 hours. And she goes, you don't understand. I go, you didn't even go to fucking Rouse. I go, I would at least gone to Rouse and got lunch, a chicken. There's nothing now. Now I got to take a shower. And she's like, didn't understand that. She's like, well, I wait for you. No, you don't. If I knew you were taking a nap, I would fucking go to Rouse and at least get a pound of ham, so when you woke up, there'd be something for fucking you to eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm weird like that. You have to have, and I always, I have a problem. Listen, I was raised really different. I was raised that when you get up, you go. Mm-hmm. You go. That's it. You get up, you take a shower, you do what you got to do. She sits there and watches TV. It drives me fucking crazy in the morning. You understand me? I don't say nothing. I don't fucking say nothing. But then she rushes at 10 to 8, and it drives me crazy. You've been sitting there watching KTLA, painting your fucking nails. My wife wakes up at 6, dog. Sometimes at 8, she's still fucking putting makeup on. I'm like, and she doesn't take her to get long. It doesn't take her that long to get ready. It's just the whole thing. Right. So I got on Sunday, and I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? I went into the shower. She came in there, started yelling. And then, I wanted to fucking stab her. But relationships are ups and downs, bro. And as long as you know that while you're arguing or saying whatever the fuck you're saying, then you go to separate rooms, and an hour later, you just move on with your life.
No, I know. But anyway, so this morning I was being all like, I was really like writing the pretend breakup email. And but I didn't put his address on it. Even if accidentally got sent, it would be no address, right? Because I was just practicing, is all I'm saying. And I was hovering over my relationship status. edit button on my fucking Facebook. And that's a thing. Like, I feel like that's like more serious than if I was actually fucking married. You know what I mean? Because then it's like you break up in front of a person in front of everybody. You know what I mean? In front of everybody, and then like everybody.
Even on Facebook, all your Facebook friends know.
I know.
They're sending you Facebook condolences and shit. And you know what? There's some things you should put on Facebook, and there's some things you shouldn't. There's some shit on Facebook that I fucking die. Like, there's some people that say some wild shit, and I laugh. I'm like, wow, this is their outlet for fucking therapy. You know what I'm saying? That's all Facebook
for
really
me,
is.
That's what
80% of it is therapy.
I don't mind that. But then the breaking up with someone, and then people, I've seen it on Facebook when someone removes the relationship status, and everyone's like, what's wrong? What'd you do? Did you lie to her again, cocksucker? You know what I mean? Like, and so it gives me now agita, that fucking relationship status thing, like, and then there's different categories like domestic partnership, it's complicated, the guy, he's the guy I fuck every third Thursday, you know what I mean? Like, that's what the button they need. It basically is like, this is the person I'm fucking.
Fucking relationship status. Can you imagine that shit? That's how they nail these fucking momos now.
Yeah.
They leave their relationship. Facebook fucks people up.
By the way, we got some like really good and interesting and heartfelt emails. I know you always want to punch me in the face when I go there, but the emails have been pretty fucking amazing.
No, they are good, and that's what I wanted to strike a chord with a lot of these people, and that's what we're doing. We're striking a fucking chord. It's funny because last night I did the Rogan podcast, and we got into the story about divorces. We got into the story about that if you break up with somebody and you have a child. Because I told him a part of my story. I go, one day she was living with her mother, next day she was living with a guy. And Rogan's like, well, a woman can do whatever the fuck she wants to do. I go, she can't, except when she has your child. You know what I'm saying? You got to say something. You can't just move into a house and your husband comes here on Thursday to pick up the kids and you're living with fucking, some guy around the corner. He's going to say something eventually. Every guy does, even if you break up for a long time. Why is my kid living with a strange man? That always strikes something, And I was explaining the breakdown period to him. I go, do you think it's that another man that fucks with your head? I go, let me tell you something. When you pick up your kid and it smells like that laundry detergent with the other man involved, you're going to see how you don't know the meaning of your skeleton hurting. It's beyond fucking stomach and nervous central system. And I know you've been there, in your life. It's skeleton pain. Your fucking skeleton's in pain. That's how much the pain is, And it's just, nobody really knows, like, what I went through for a long time, and he didn't even know it. I've known him for 13 years. I told him last night, I wanted to fucking kill this guy. I mean, I had it planned. I had a guy come down and teach me how to take the car up and drop him, because you could shoot somebody, but the guy told me to shoot him and throw him in the weeds and the bears would get him. I mean, how fucking crazy that divorce had me to that point in my life thinking that. I mean, you told me a story here that you looked over the ledge one day and you were like, now I know what it feels like that. But I didn't think about your story till last night when I was telling Joe my story. I go, Joe, there comes a point during a divorce, there was so much confusion in your head that it's like your brain you need an alt delete. Is that what you call it?
A reset button.
And the reset is jumping or doing something stupid. What wakes you up is waking up with handcuffs on or with blood, smoking a cigarette like fucking Mickey Rourke and whatever that movie he did. That's the thing. You do something stupid. That's the breakdown. It's no lead up to the breakdown. And with me, Felicia, I had gone out there already. I was hunting this guy. I was just setting him up, what routes he came in. And I forgot all about that till last night. And I was like, it's amazing what pain puts you to think sometimes, like when and you listen to people, oh well, he went through this, and you don't feel bad. You think it's an excuse sometimes, when you hear about a case, whatever. I don't know what happened with Kaylee or whatever, anything, and there's always an excuse, and you always, like me with the goggles, that's no fucking excuse. You did what you did. And I can't believe I was right there. And I'm telling you that there was an excuse, that I needed to press the alt delete fucking button. Yeah. And then I thought about Felicia, who's way fucking more grounded than me. Way more grounded than me. Beautiful girl, life in front of her hands, is walking in the fucking mall, and something made you think about your mother, and you looked over the fucking ledge. You know, and I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
fucking crazy.
yeah.
This happens to people. He's like, you know, I didn't really know. And then this morning when we spoke about the thing, he called this morning, we went into that conversation. He goes, I really didn't know that. I go, Joe, I was prepared to write jokes for Jay Leno. I was going to do life for this little kid. And when they, you know, did that at the Comedy Works and I had to go, I looked at the whole thing and I said, you know what, I don't want my daughter to get involved in this, and I left. But he didn't know that. A lot of people just think that, you know, you just pick up and leave one day and don't talk to your kid. There was a little motivating. But last night was when I got the brain fart about you on the drive home, because I didn't go to sleep till 4 in the morning last night talking about that. That's how worked up I got last night.
Oh, really?
Sure, you get, you know, that's like, you're digging up shit that I don't, and the last 2 months with the one-man show and talking about my daughter, I've been digging up stuff little by little. This was a fucking bulldozer came and moved the rock. Wow, and I stayed up till 4. I even went to bed and kept moving. I even got up and I smoked a fucking bone at like 4, and I got up at 7 and did my day. But it's so weird how fucking pain sometimes you think it goes away. It's just deep, 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 deep in the muffler, hidden. And you're trying to shit it out, but it won't go out. Yeah. It's clinging on for life, pain to your little asshole. Clinging. I want to go out with the next shit. Please take me out of this fucking body. But it's so weird.
Yeah, it's
and,
true.
and you know, pain is a lot of the motivational factor. We do most of the things we do, but it was so weird that last night I thought about you. And you know what? If you didn't have kids, I would have called you because I was feeling that bad about myself last night for about 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah?
Sure. I mean, I've always told you that when you realize what you could have done in your life, whether it's successful or something bad, like, you know, you ever drive past something and somebody cuts you off and there's a pole and you were just, you maneuvered. In reality, you could have fucking just hit that pole. It could have been over.
Yeah.
If you just tell me you speed away from there, the more you get away from that location, it sinks in. How fucking, that could have been the end of your life. You know, that could have, things just fucking happen.
Things do just happen. And you know what's interesting that you bring that up? I had like a weird thing. When I was growing up, my mother always tried to kill herself. That was like, you know, all the time.
But hospitals and shit, involvement like that? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't mean
know,
to, like, I just asked.
No, I mean, it got to the point, honestly, where I would come home and I could figure out how long she took the pills, and I could maybe do a little math homework before I called 911. I mean, because you kind of become
you did
that
math
way.
homework? We'll back that up. That's a very funny joke.
I know. But the thing is, it's true that because you become like very numb to it, you know, and so cut forward to nowadays, like, I don't have patience for people that are always talking about suicide, and sometimes I get scared that like I'm fucking up by not having patience for it, because that's how I grew up. And and you brought up the thing when I was so freaking out, and because I used to think my mom was a piece of shit because she's always trying to kill herself. And then when I was so angry at my ex, where I had this thought at, you know, I could just fucking end everything right now. And I realized, and I spoke about this before, that my mother didn't always try to kill herself because she was a weak piece of shit. Maybe she wanted to do it because she just wanted the anger to go away, because that's how I felt at that moment. I was just so angry, and it wasn't about anything else than, wow, I could just fucking get rid of this anger right here and do it. And at that moment, that changed everything for me about how I thought about my mother, because then I thought maybe that's just what she was doing. So I don't have a judgment on people that have those thoughts, you know, because I kind of get it a tiny bit. But a weird thing happened. I came home yesterday and the boys were on the computer playing a kid video game where kids befriend each other, and my son Cruz was like freaking out, and I was like, what's going on? He's like, a little girl says she's gonna kill herself and, you know, wants me to talk to her. And I'm like, Cruz, tell her to please go tell an adult she's having those strong feelings and get off the computer. And then I had to have the big talk with them about, this is what happened to me when I was growing up. And when you're dealing with people like that, because I have a friend who is having a hard time right now medically and is saying things like that a lot to me, and I try to be there, but at the end, it's not my responsibility. That's that person's responsibility. If that person needs my help, I'll help. But I can't always listen to it, because the fact is, she used to be that way before she got sick. You know, my mom was that way. Like, it's the ultimate...
The martyr syndrome. Let's put it on you type.
But I do understand.
I understand it too.
It's part of depression, and I understand all of that, and it's not a judgment on it. But when you grow up on the other side of it, it's kind of like, whoa. And it was just kind of bummed me out. It was on my mind because I had to say to my son, you know, like all my whole story about that and how I feel about that, but I don't want him to not be a caring person to someone when they actually do need help, you know, like. So that kind of was interesting that the conversation went this way with that.
No, it's imagine. I had one friend the last 10 years that kept busting my balls with suicide. And it's so weird. I have this gift that I'll make believe I didn't hear what you said. And he kept saying it to me, you know, I don't know what to do. Someday I'm just going to kill myself, looking for a reaction, you know. And I wouldn't give him a reaction. And finally, after 7 months, I gave him a reaction. I gave him the wrong reaction. But I gave it to him the wrong reaction out of love. 2 months later, he called me and he goes, I went and got help. So thank you. You know, you have to say something every once in a while. I don't want to hear you killing yourself. Tell me you're going through a hard time. But after you keep saying it to me, it's going to get to me. And I'm going to go home and worry about you, but I can't react to you because I can't fall into your fucking game. I'm not going to fall into that fucking game. I'm going to play with you. I'm going to be your friend. I don't bring it up.
Right.
And after fucking 6 months, I had to say something one day. It wasn't nice how I said it, but, you know, he looked at me and said, you're right, dog. I hate, you know, when somebody's got those issues, I don't address them. I talk to them and I try to steamroll over them and get them off that. Let's go see a movie. You know what I'm saying? Let's go get a fucking Chinese dinner, whatever.
Yeah.
But after a while, when they keep saying it, that's when my blood pressure fucking rises.
Yeah, it's hard for me to...
I've said it.
Yeah,
I fucking said it. I wish I would
job.
die. I wish I get hit by a car. Things are going so fucking bad. We've all fucking said it. And then 2 hours later, you realize you don't want to fucking say that. But it's something in somebody's tone. And for a little girl to say that, God damn it.
Well, first of all, who knows if it was a little
right,
girl?
It could be
you
a
know what I
fucking
mean?
filthy
Like
animal
that's
on
maybe how they. I don't know. But it's so weird when you have to have those conversations with people, or when you just even have to think about it. So.
It's funny because a guy in my neighborhood, Johnny, tried to kill himself. He was older, like I was 18 and he was like 50, and he tried to kill himself. And we knew him from the neighborhood, and he jumped off a building, but he landed in a dumpster. Johnny Reed landed in a fucking dumpster and lived. That's brutal when you try to kill yourself and you live, and you have to live in my neighborhood. Because he lived with that for the rest of his fucking life.
Did he? How hurt was he?
Nothing. He banged his head. He got like 18 stitches, and he was drinking the next day.
Oh, really?
And we fucking tormented him.
What did you call him after that?
I mean, it wasn't what we called him. It was what we do to him.
Yeah.
Like every day was torture. Like, you know, there was always something. Like, you know, anybody got a knife? Oh, Johnny's here. You know, like, you know, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Searching for weapons. You know, close the fucking elevator. I mean, and he fucking would sit there. He used to get a disability check and give it to the bartender. The bartender would staple it to the thing. And once his money was gone for the month, he wouldn't see him for 10 days.
Yeah.
Then he'd get his disability check. Come back on the first. He'd be in there with brand new shoes and shit. Let's do this. You give the guy a check and drink it for 3 weeks. Then I used to see that motherfucker walking in Harlem. I'd go cop like the next morning, and I'd see him walking back, talking to himself. That motherfucker, I stabbed him. Johnny, baby, fuck you. And we'd keep driving by. Poor Johnny Reed. And you know what?
What?
He's still alive today.
Oh, really?
People still see Johnny Reed fighting with the wind because he fights with the air.
Oh, he does?
He's one of those guys that'll be walking the street and just have a conversation. And I told him, fuck you, cocksucker. And I hit him. And I kicked him. And then and you're like, Johnny, who are you talking to? Hey, nothing. I'm over here just walking. Isn't it a beautiful day? He's one of those guys. Nothing. I'm just walking. You know what I'm saying? It's a beautiful day. You know, and one time I showed him my dick at the bar. He was
kind of like what you got shaking right now.
Today. But I took it out and I put it on the bar stool. And I tapped him on the shoulder. He was drinking. And he's like, and he looks over at me, and I go, Johnny, look at this. And he looks at me. He goes, wow. And then we used to give him bumps. Like, oh, you have no idea. He used to go to the bathroom. You know, in New York and New Jersey, at night they lock the bathroom from the outside. You know that, right? They have at night, at the end of the night when they close up, they have windows in New York, so they all close the bathroom, so they have locks on the outside. He'd go in there at 2 PM to pee. We'd lock him in there and leave, and come back at 7. And he'd still be in there sitting on the fucking toilet. And all of a sudden you'd open up, you know how people say, where the fuck you been? He'd just walk out. Whew. Wow. And he'd come out and have another drink. Johnny, where you been? I don't know.
Wow.
We were kids, Felice. You gotta torture somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Well, apparently you did a lot.
Johnny fucking Reed. And he's still alive. I think he lives in Toms River, New Jersey now.
Wow.
I check up on all my fucking people who entertained me as a child. Anybody who entertained me as a child, I hold deep to my heart. Because when I was a child...
When's the last time you saw him?
85, 84.
Oh, yeah.
And he was fucked up. We used to hang out at the Midtown Lounge then on 69th Street. Fucking tremendous. The downstairs filled with razor blades and fucking mirrors.
Really?
The father would come down. He'd go, what the fuck? Who's cutting hair down there? Why there's so many fucking mirrors? He didn't know we were down there doing fucking blizzards. The Midtown Lounge. That was a good fucking joint. I hope this all works out for you. You know, whatever your decision you make. I mean, it's a...
No, I'm not, you know, I'm just talking myself through it, you know, because...
All you need is a fucking stabbing. You know, I mean, listen. Guys and ladies, sometimes... You ever have an argument with you, and people say it's makeup sex. It's not makeup sex. That's what she wanted from the beginning, was a dick. But they go through all this shit instead of just saying, give me a fucking dick. What are you talking about? I can't believe it. Then when you go bend over, I look at your ass, and right there, I rip those fucking pants over. And you're like, what are you doing? I'm not in the mood. And next thing you know, a dick's in your mouth, and I'm sucking your titties, and I got pussy. And next thing you know, whew, I needed that. Because that's all you need. You just need a fucking stab. And all this shit you got. So you should get back on fucking whatever.com and put down Felicia Michaels available for a stab in between Tchaikovsky fucking making music.
Well, that's the
there.
next button
That's
you need to put on Facebook.
That might be the next fucking move, is for you to just get yourself a little fucking guy. So when fucking Stanislavski's over there making music, you could be sucking a dick. So you don't have these, right now you're, what is that when you get away from drugs after 10 days? You
I'm
start
jonesing.
shaking? Yeah, she's jonesing. That's why I wore this rip in the pants so I can show her a nutsack.
I know.
Right?
Look, there it is. There it is.
Beautiful.
I know. That's why, honestly, Joey, because I know.
Smell it. I just sniffed my dick and asked her to smell it. How strong am I? Be a Beast podcast. This is how we do it here. Want to smell it real quick?
No. But here's the thing, Joey. When you were telling that story about, and then I put my dick across the bar stool, you made it sound like you put a fucking salami on the bar stool. And I've seen your Cuban egg roll.
Look, that's a compliment.
I know. But there's no way you would place it. Stop playing your cock like a banjo.
Just give a little sniff. Just a little sniff.
Playing your cock like a banjo.
This might cure you. Just a little sniff of the helmet might bring you back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
just
God.
lift the finger a little bit.
That little thing. Your idea. Well, then,
I just tickled her. She thought I was a dick. She almost jumped. I love you, motherfuckers.
All right.
See you guys next week. Beauty and the Beast podcast, making Felicia sniff my dick out of my hand and shit.
So wrong.
That's not wrong. You're Jones, and I'm helping you out,
dude. And there's no hair. You have no hair down there.
No, I do have hair, but I'm not showing you the patois. I'm just showing you the tip of the helmet. That's the uncircumcised.
Dude, outside you showed me your balls.
That was the ball. That wasn't the whole ball. It was just the skin.
I know, but you're slowly unveiling every little centimeter of it.
My nuts are too big. They don't fit in this fucking hole. All I can take
Your nuts are too big.
All I can take is a scrotum sack.
Your balls are big, but them nuts are peanuts.
Sniff the ball sack. That ain't gonna. It's not the helmet.
I don't want to.
Just to bring you back.
I don't want to sniff it. I don't make you sniff my vagina.
I don't give a fuck if you scratch your monkey right now and I hadn't had pussy in 2 weeks.
I'll tell you what. I'll let you sniff my vagina after I'm gardening at 110 degrees.
How bad is it? It's just sweaty. It's just a little oniony. I don't mind. I like it a little oniony. It smells like a Greek salad. You know what I'm saying? I love you, motherfuckers. Beauty and the Beast podcast.
My pussy has never smelled like a Greek salad.
Fucking finger banging, an olive falls out. You know what I'm
saying? Or a little bit of that feta cheese.
That falls out of your asshole when I'm fingering you and shit. That's the extra padding and shit.
Shit.
Sometimes the shows go in this direction. We love you, motherfuckers. Have a great week. Throw them a kiss, Felicia. Beauty and the Beast podcast. Stay black.